what?
I have something just as exciting. Our next guest.
Probably more exciting, maybe?
Yeah, probably. But I will introduce her. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ann Prairie Ann from the county of Scott in the town of Belle Plaine, Minnesota, please welcome Carrie Traxler.
Hi, Carrie. We're so glad to have you here today. And you are the chamber representative from Belle Plaine.
That's correct.
Yeah. Where is Belle Plaine?
We are located centrally between Mankato and St. Paul, right along the river valley.
On the way to the cities.
Yep.
So tell us all the exciting things that are happening in Belle Plaine.
Well, we have several celebrations that go on in our town. Starting in March is a St. Patrick's Day celebration. And we are the 5th largest celebration in the state of Minnesota when it comes to St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patty's Day. So do you do the big St. Patty's Day parade and everybody dresses up? And
it's a smaller parade. It's Irish families that walk in the parade. And then the streets are closed down and people come from many surrounding communities to celebrate in our town. Followed by that, we have a German Days in which only German families walk in the parade.
I guess that's only fair.
And so that takes place in June.
So you have the Irish parade on St. Patty's Day, the German celebration in June?
Yep.
Okay.
And in that celebration, that's kind of unique in that it starts out with a motorcycle run, then there's a tractor pull. This all takes place downtown with all the streets closed off. There's the parade, and then there's also pro wrestling out in the streets.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So, Carrie, where do you find your pro wrestlers? Are they just all townspeople, or anybody? Do they like register to wrestle, or how do you come up with them?
The German Days Committee selects the wrestlers, and they are from all over different communities.
See, you could wrestle.
I could wrestle.
Yeah.
So could you. Do women wrestle? Do you have
there are women wrestlers as well.
There are a few women wrestlers.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
You mentioned BBQ Days.
I mentioned BBQ Days. Actually,
how did you know
Carrie
about
brought
that?
a book along, and I read the book. And are you celebrating the 50th year of BBQ Days, or is it just? Is it been longer than that?
It is. The 50th year was celebrated in 2008.
Okay, so that would be, do your math, Paris. What would that, 53?
That's correct. And so BBQ Days is a 3-day celebration.
Ooh, yeah.
Takes place the 3rd weekend in July, and that was selected when they started it in '59, because statistically that's the driest weekend of the summer.
Oh, wow.
And so they serve barbecue beef sandwiches, a little over 7,000 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And they go through generally over 150 kegs of beer.
They must start cooking it, what, like 4 or 5 days ahead of time?
A couple days in advance,
Wow.
yep. So there's several events that take place that weekend. On Friday evening there's a horse show. Saturday there's a horseshoe tournament, a parade. There's a carnival that takes place all weekend long. And Sunday is our Queen coronation. We end our celebration with the fireworks. And our fireworks actually probably draws more crowd than our parade does.
Oh, wow. Yeah, everyone likes a good fireworks show.
What is
That's
the population of Belle Plaine?
7,100.
Wow, you have a lot of things going on for 7,100 people.
That's what I was thinking. It's a pound of beef for everyone. Oh.
Is there anything else that you can fit into your calendar after doing all these things?
Well, there are a few other events that go on in town. We've got a river fishing contest that also draws hundreds of people from the 5-state area.
Everyone, yeah.
And when is that held?
That's held in August. Another thing that we have that goes on all summer long is a farmer's market. And that's every Wednesday.
Yeah, we love those. Carrie, could you hold the book up there and let our viewing audience see the Belle Plaine BBQ Days? And if anybody would like to, are there more copies available? How would you purchase that book if you wanted to enjoy it?
We do have some copies in the chamber office. Otherwise, there's a website where they can purchase them as well.
Or just get a hold of you at the chamber?
Yep.
And I hear you have a surprise with the books today.
Yes, we actually brought a copy for everyone in the audience.
Isn't that wonderful? Yay, viewing audience.
What's in the book? Photos of past?
Yep, it is a recap of the last 50 years.
Wow.
So for each year, there's the royalty, who the chairs were, who the grand marshals were.
Oh, cool.
How many kegs of beer were drank, how many pounds of beef were sold.
I'd like to know who, took notes on that. Oh, wow. Oh, 1959 to 2008.
Yep.
Wow.
Carrie, there's one more thing I was thinking as I have driven through that way, and off to my right in the fall, I see all these scarecrows. Is that anything to do with you guys in Belle Plaine? Do you put that on?
That is put on by Emma Crumby's restaurant. They have an apple farm and an orchard, and so they are into their 20-some years. They've been putting on the Scarecrow Festival, and they have over 100 entries. And people, they have several different categories that they judge the scarecrows on, and it's open from mid-September until October. People can come out and take a look at the Scarecrow Festival.
Now, does it end with Halloween? Is that like the grand finale on October 31st? And do they have like a Halloween party there then for the kids? Or is it kind of an ongoing thing?
It's more of an ongoing thing.
Yeah,
on the weekends, they're very busy.
Now,
say,
are
I've driven
like
by
school kids, are they able to take bus tours
Yep.
up? Is that
During the
yeah.
week, there's several bus
Perfect.
tours that go on.
And then there's like a little apple place to buy. Is there a place to buy apples?
It's a
Did I
You
hear
Pick
that?
apple
It's a
orchard.
You pick
Pick,
apple
yes.
orchards.
And they also have
can you
a-
buy like apple pies? Or are there things made up
Yep.
already that
They
you
have
just
a-
purchase and take with
Love
you?
apple pie.
Yep. They have a general store where they sell treats like that, as well as a lot of great gifts. It's sort of a boutique-y
You would
type
like
general
it.
store.
I would like
Yeah.
that. Fun. Carrie, thank you so much for being here today. And one thing that I need to know is when you're so busy there in Belle Plaine, how would we, Paris and I, find out?
What's going on and when? I mean,
Yeah.
you have incredible festivals. We want to know time, dates.
How can we find
How do
out
we
all
find
that
that
info?
out? Yeah.
All of that information will be available on our chamber website, and that's www.belleplainemn.com.
Perfect.
BellePlaineMN.com.
So if
Perfect,
anybody
yeah.
wants to know more about Belle Plaine, just check
Right.
out the chamber.
And the festivals, the barbecue
Website.
days, German days,
And St. Patrick's
St.
Day.
Patrick's Day, and of course Farmers Market if you're swinging up there.
And Scarecrow
And the
Festival.
Scarecrow Festival.
But you know what? I got some sad news. I'm afraid we're out of time for now. We're going to have to wrap it up. But we share small town stories with big town attitude, for we are the women of Sweet Swine County. Bye-bye for now.